The second part of our discussion will focus on the different functions, roles, and skills of a manager. We will define the responsibilities that the managers have in running their company. The different functions of managers are defined based on the level of management where they belong. The term levels of management refers to a line of demarcation between various managerial positions in an organization. The number of levels in management increases when the size of the business and workforce increases and vice versa. The level of management determines a chain of command, the amount of authority, and status enjoyed by any managerial position. The three levels of management are the top-level managers, the middle-level managers, and the lower-level managers. These managers are classified in a hierarchy of authority and perform different tasks. In each level of management, there is a corresponding function for every manager. The first level of management is the top-level managers, who are also known as the strategic managers. These managers are responsible for controlling and overseeing the entire organization. They develop goals, strategic plans, company policies, and make decisions on the direction of the business. They also put priority on the company's stability, development, progress, and overall efficiency and effectiveness. These managers also maintain the relationship of the organization to the external environment, such as future investors and government. Examples of these managers are Board of Directors, President, Vice President, and CEO of a company. The middle-level managers, who are also known as tactical managers, are in charge of establishing specific objectives and activities for their departments, which is based on the general goals that are developed by the top-level managers. They are executing organizational plans in conformance with the company's policies and the objectives of the top management. Some examples of middle-level managers are branch managers and department managers. Lastly, the lower-level managers, who are also known as operational managers, are responsible in supervising the everyday operation of the company. These managers focus on controlling and directing the employees or staff of the organizations. Whenever there are employee problems, they are the ones who escalate this to the higher level of managers. After knowing the different levels of management and their corresponding functions, the next thing that we might ask is, what would be our roles as a manager of the company? We have 10 roles of a manager, and we divided it into 3 categories, which are interpersonal, informational, and decisional. The first category is interpersonal, which focuses on establishing and maintaining the relationship of a manager to the internal and external environment of the company. The first role under this category is manager being a leader. As a manager, you are tasked to provide leadership for your team, your department, or perhaps the entire company. And it's where you manage the performance and responsibilities of everyone in the group. The second role of a manager is being a liaison. It means managers must communicate with internal and external contacts. As a manager, you need to be able to network effectively on behalf of your organization. Finally, manager as figurehead means that you are expected to be a source of inspiration. The members in your group look up to you as a person with authority and as a figurehead. The second category is informational, which states that as a manager, you are becoming the source of information within and outside the organization. Managers being the spokesperson of the organization means that they represent and speak for the company. In this role, the managers are responsible for transmitting information about the organization and its goal to the people outside it. The second role under this category is manager being the monitor, means that every manager should regularly seek out information related to the organization and industry. Also, as a manager, you also need to monitor your team in terms of both their productivity and their well-being. Lastly, the role of being a disseminator means that as a manager, you should communicate potentially useful information to your colleagues and your team. The last category is decisional, which focuses on the decision-making role of the manager in the company. The first role under this category is disturbance handler. When an organization or team hits an unexpected roadblock or problem, it's the manager who must take charge. You also need to help mediate disputes within it. Manager as a resource allocator means that you need to determine where organizational resources are best applied. This involves allocating funding as well as assigning staff and other organizational resources. The role of the manager as a negotiator means that the manager needs to take part in important negotiations within the team, department, or organization. Lastly, the role of the manager as an entrepreneur means that every manager needs to create and control change within the organization. This means solving problems, generating new ideas, and implementing them. We all know now the different roles and functions of a manager. Now, we will discuss what will it take for us to be a manager. What are the necessary skills required to become a manager? We have identified 3 skills that are essential to the role of every manager. These are conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. The first skill is conceptual skill, which enable manager to see the big picture, to recognize significant elements in a situation, and to understand the relationships among the elements. Through their ability to visualize abstract situations, they can develop a holistic view of their organization and its relation to the wider external environment surrounding it. The next skill is human skill, which enable managers in all levels to relate well with people. Human skill is the ability to work with people. It is cooperative efforts, it is teamwork, it is the creation of an environment in which people feel secure and free to express their opinions. Communicating, leading, inspiring, and motivating people become easy with the help of human skills. Lastly, technical skills enable managers to perform their tasks with proficiency by the use of their expertise. They must be knowledgeable first to the tasks that are assigned to them so they can execute it with efficiency and effectiveness. Being a manager entails a lot of responsibilities and roles in the organization. We must always remind ourselves that what we are doing will always have an impact to the organization where we are working. We must be discerning in every decisions that we are making because the well-being of the team is always in our shoulders.